Hello, my name is Klaus Rittstieg and I am Product Manager at DirectSense. Today I want to show you how to perform a maltose and glucose measurement with our biosensor kit. First of all, what do you need to do the measurements? Of course, you need a maltose and glucose biosensor kit. Then you need the DirectSense reader. Here the model T4. You can also alternatively use the old DirectSense reader together with a laptop and an external QR code reader. Then of course you need a sample to be measured. In this case it's an oat drink sample, some deionized water for the dilution. You need an incubator preheated to 53 degrees Celsius, or alternatively a water bath, a timer. Then you need Eppendorfer vials, selected according to the dilution ratio that you selected for your samples. You need pipettes and pipette tips. Okay, let's go on with the next step, the sample preparation. We start the sample preparation by doing a stock dilution. Our software offers 3 different dilution ratios. Please select the correct dilution ratio according to the expected concentrations of glucose and maltose in your sample. You see it here on the table. So for the 1+4 dilution, we use 100 microliter sample and dilute with 400 microliter water. For the 1+49 dilution, we use 100 microliter sample and dilute with 4,900 microliter deionized water. And for the 1+99 dilution, we use again 100 microliter sample and dilute it with 9,900 microliter deionized water. In our example, we make a 1+49 dilution, and we always recommend to start the dilution with the water part. So here I have a pipette set to 4,900 microliter volume. And now transfer this volume of deionized water into the Eppendorfer vial. And now I use a second pipette set to 100 microliter volume and add 100 microliter of the sample. And of course, it's very important to thoroughly mix the stock dilution. Now let's go on with the next part of the sample preparation, preparing the glucose and the maltose measuring solutions. For this, now we need the glucose and the maltose buffer out of the kit. First the glucose buffer and the maltose buffer. So we mix 100 microliter of stock dilution with glucose buffer and with maltose buffer to prepare the solutions. Under microliter into vial 1. And again 100 microliter into vial number 2. And now it's important to use, of course, a clean pipette tip and add 100 microliter glucose buffer into the vial number 1. And now it's very important to mix the stock dilution with the glucose buffer by taking it up and down with the pipette at least 5 times. Now again, I use a fresh pipette tip and add the maltose buffer into the vial number 2. Again, thoroughly mixing is very important, so at least 5 times taking it up and down the pipette. Okay. and close the buffer vials. So, and now the vial number 2 needs to be incubated for 10 minutes at 53 degrees centigrade in the incubator. So start the timer, set the timer to 10 minutes, and now wait 10 minutes for the incubation to take place. Okay, so the incubation is finished. So now I can take out the vial number 2 and go on with the measurement. So for the measurement, I need the direct sense reader T4. I take out 2 biosensor strips. Okay. And in the software, I select the measure button, select the user, then I scan the kit QR code to transfer the calibration constants, press continue to start the glucose and maltose measurement. And now I would have the possibility to scan a QR code of a sample name, but I select no and type in sample name. Sample name is tests. Okay. Next step now is to select the dilution ratio. We have used a 1:49 dilution ratio. Now I insert the biosensor as far as it may go. Press continue. The next step now is to pipette 100 microliter of the glucose measuring solution, which is in the vial number 1, onto the sensor. Do that by first pipetting on the center and then moving in a circular movement with the pipette tip to distribute the drop evenly on the sensitive area. The sample is automatically detected by the instrument and the measurement is now started. Okay, so the glucose measurement is finished now. Take out the sensor and dispose it. Now let's press continue. Insert the next sensor. Now press continue and pipette 100 microliter of the maltose measuring solution onto the biosensor from the vial number 2. So first add the sample centrally and then with a circular movement dispense it evenly on the sensitive spot. Now the measurement is being started. And finally, we have a result. So this was the measuring procedure for glucose and maltose with our biosensor kit. If you need more technical information, please check out our Maltose and Glucose webpage. You find there the user manual, the troubleshooting guide, and some application notes. And for personalized support, you can use our email address support@directsense.com.